Hey there, fellas. Now, you might remember some of our videos featuring all of this. Air cylinders, compressors. I suggest we use it all again and have a bit of fun. What do we have in mind? Well, we've already tried air brakes, which worked. They actually worked reasonably well. As for today's idea, you might recall how some time ago we made a semi-automatic clutch and it worked beautifully. Then we got to thinking, why not try powering the clutch with air and actually make it so that it works properly? Do it right this time around. Let's try it out, shall we? We've got a cylinder, some hoses, a compressor, wires, buttons, all of the hardware. So we're gonna hook this cylinder up to the clutch in this car, see how it works, and of course go try it out on the road. Okay, let's get stuck right into it. We make a DIY push-button clutch. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. So how this is set up in the cabin is quite elementary. Those two wires we decided not to hide. We got them and a button for activating the clutch, sitting right on the gear lever. We were thinking about putting it on the wheel, and then the thought occurred to us that placed here, well, it just made more sense for it to be on the gear lever. And so that's where it is. The main components are hidden underneath the car, though, which is where I suggest we go now to have a look at them. Okay, here's what we're looking at. We've extended the clutch fork. That's for the cylinder to have it a bit easier with the available travel by providing some extra leverage. The cylinder is placed on an axis. We've got a tube connected to it, and that's about it. Push the button. We've essentially pressed the clutch pedal. Let go. Okay, now it's gradually being released. Tremendous. We didn't even have to use a relief valve. The reason for that being, well, the cylinder itself has gotten a bit leaky. We decided not to take it apart, but this problem is actually a blessing in disguise, with it slowly releasing the clutch all by itself. The compressor assembly itself is mounted in the trunk. Our previous experiences tell us that it's a bit too loud to place inside the cabin, and so we have it in here. We are still going to hear it, but it's not going to be nearly as annoying. It'll be tolerable. Here we've got one hose that feeds the air. This is a control line. Third one to the compressor. Everything is looking good. We got everything hooked up, and now it's time for some testing in the field. Let's go. Okay, so I'm inside the car. Neutral. Time to start the engine. Now I just have to keep my left foot out of it. It'll surely be trying to look for the pedal. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, I hear that it's pressed in. The throwout bearing is toast. Now, I won't really be able to tell when the clutch will start to engage, but whatever. I see. This'll be harder than I thought. Letting go. And we're off. What's interesting is that, I was able to set off. The interesting thing is that, in order to come to a stop, It occurred to me that I'll have to press the button. Come on, give me a second. There we are. Sweet. Anyway, so typically when braking, we always press two pedals at once, right? I mean, I can throw it into neutral. It's not really that big a deal. That said, this will take some getting used to for sure. It sort of seems like an auto, in that you're only using two pedals. Got it out of gear? Yeah, this'll take a bit of getting used to. That's reverse. It's not as smooth as with the semi-automatic, but it works nonetheless, which is nice. Yeah, the engine is a bit cold. I guess I can change gear without the clutch, but we made this to use it after all. Let's go, come on. There we are, awesome. It should be easy sailing from here, because the higher the speed, the more forgiving the clutch is going to be and the smoother the gear change. Let me get it into first. Okay, there it is, great. This obviously won't allow us to do a burnout, but then again, why not give it a try? I mean, as long as the engine can take it as in has enough power to do a burnout. Overall, the semi-automatic clutch works, and that's nice. We've also got a button for the compressor. You do need to pump air into the system sometimes. And now we wait. The pressure is obviously gonna drop. The cylinder's got a lot of volume, the compressor not so much. It's not enough to sustain functionality at all times. So sometimes you gotta run the compressor, which I totally forgot about. Okay, we should be good to go now. Okay, let's go. That didn't work. There we are. Yeah, my foot just keeps looking for the pedal. That's obviously a habit, so no surprises there. Firing it up. Press the button. In gear, release. And off we go. The key is to really work the throttle, and then you'll be golden. Second gear. There it is. This is a bit jerky. Like I said, this takes some getting used to. I'm gonna go for third now. Push. Release. And we're in third. Reverse. Excellent. Putting it into first, and we're off. You have to apply quite a lot of throttle, but if you do, you'll be alright. I'm setting off with no trouble whatsoever. Push it, throw it into neutral. Looking good. Stop the car. And now, let's try doing that thing I wanted to do. Well, that didn't work. What a shame. Yeah, the engine isn't up to it. Not even close. Wow, the way it disengaged, it was like the cylinder barely began to move, and the clutch already allowed getting the box out of gear. There are those moments sometimes when you get a bit lazy and you don't want to push the clutch all the way in. And when you're putting the box into gear, that's when you want it to be pushed all the way in. I should let somebody else have a go and look on from the sidelines. Yeah, you know what? It is kinda jerky. It lets go a bit too abruptly, and setting off can get a bit uncomfortable. You don't get any of that when changing gear, though. Don't linger on it. There you go. Look at him go. You're gonna have to flip around there as well. He's doing well. He forgot to switch it off. Alright, so here's where we're at with this airy story. At the end of the day, this does work, but there are a few minute issues that need to be ironed out. Now, with this sort of setup, the car is very much suitable for driving, but there's the matter of being accustomed to using a manual and your foot constantly looking for the clutch pedal, which you don't need to push in this case, with there being a button on the gear lever. Pushing the button does take a bit of getting used to, though I don't think it's going to take all that long to. So yeah, this really shouldn't be all that difficult, though some of us couldn't set off for a good half an hour. We're looking at a 107% success rate here, and that's all I got for you. Watch us, subscribe, send in your suggestions, comment, give us a big thumbs up. All right, catch you later. We can go now.